Hello, I am James Lott Jr. This is Daytime Today and the Daytime Emmy specials here on JLJ Media Special. Say that 5 times fast. Here on JLJ Media, I'm James Lott Jr. And I feel the need to clear the air and answer some questions that people are having and talk about in general why, once again, myself and JLJ Media will not be at the Daytime Emmys this Friday. I am not happy. You probably saw my tweet that I put out, but I'm going to talk about everything, good, bad, ugly. I'm just going to bring it to the table here in this video for you, so you guys have a full understanding, at least where I'm coming from, where I'm at, and what this experience is for me. So I'm going to start. I actually have notes, folks. I actually sat down. I said, I'm taking this seriously. And I was like, what am I going to say? I want to make sure I say, all these points and say what I want to say in here. But hello, everybody. Welcome to everything. I want to thank all the fans over the years who have enjoyed all of my Emmy-related videos. You guys enjoy our show that we do every year with my co-host, Jerry Waggett, Walker Ragsdale, and Candace Mack. Lucretia Lyon was a former co-host also. You guys enjoyed all of it every time we come together and talk about the Emmys stuff. I also want to thank you for all the support all year long. I do all of the soaps just about daytime American soaps, and I do it weekly. I have my co-hosts like Tammy Govea, Amanda Russ, Frank Moran. I appreciate them, and I've been doing it for almost 10 years now. And all the interviews, all the actors and writers and producers and people in this business who have been so kind to me, um, who know that I love this industry, that I love the daytime world. I've been watching daytime since I was like 10 years old. I'm 55 years old now. It's a long time. And I've been in this business almost 10 years, this part of the business, but in entertainment for 17, almost 18 years. I started from scratch, and worked very hard and to make moves up. I was with AfterBuzz TV at one point, got a nice little leg up there, worked very hard over there. And then when the pandemic hit and they closed down, really focused on JLJ Media here and the content for you at home. So when the Emmys are a part of that content for me, it's part of what the fans like. I like seeing my fellow actors and colleagues on the red carpet. And so when I am denied, which now has happened twice in a row, it is very discerning for me because I was always able to go before. And so I don't know how the system has changed. But we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. I'm also an Emmy voter, Emmy judge. So I did some voting for these awards, for several sets of the awards, like I did last year. I just became a voter a couple of years ago. The Emmy is the highest honor you can get, whether it's a daytime Emmy, regional Emmy, project, doesn't matter. It's the highest honor you can get in television and television-related projects. I love it. My experience with the Emmy so far, prior to these 2 years, I give full disclosure, has been wonderful. First time out, 8-9 years ago, I applied, and boom. Now, as my soloist, now we've gone as AfterBuzz TV before that, but as my own company, got approved. I know many PR people in the business. They're very kind to me. Let me have whatever artist I would like, any talent I wanted. I got great footage, and I put it out there for the fans. Seem to love it, our style. The first year I did it by myself, which is not easy to do because it was just me at the time. And then in 2022, the last time I did it with Tammy Govea. We had a great time. What it's like at the Emmys, it's not easy work. All red carpets are chaos on some level, right? And those of us who've done red carpets know that. For me, you're squished together. Everybody's in line. You're squished together. You have no idea how long you're going to have somebody. You can have them for 30 seconds, for 3 minutes. You have no idea. but you have to just be ready on the fly, be there. You have people talking in your ear next to you on both sides. So you're trying to tune them out, stay focused, make sure you ask the right questions, make sure you don't look dumb, make sure you look good, make sure you're not covering. There's a lot going on when you do red carpets. It's one of the hardest of the hosting gigs I think you can do. Doing this sitting here talking to you or interviewing somebody sitting down somewhere. And that's the one on this is on the fly. You're there. They could be pulled away in 8 seconds. People behind you going like this and wrap it up, and it's a lot of work. But it's fun. It's long. It's a long day. And one of the things I've appreciated is that there's many of us who are long timers who have gone every year. It's like our chance because we're busy during the year. When we talk to you, but we're busy doing our jobs, covering the soaps. It's fun to get together in person. We're all dressed up. Many of us are all next to each other. I look at Daytime Confidential like on one side, Dan Collins and Soap Central on the other side. Dish and Days is down the street, kind of so to speak. Like we're all, Buzzcast. Like, there's a bunch of us that are there every year, and it's so much fun to see them and talk to them and just kind of get through it all and cheer each other on, and it really is. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, it's a long day. Your feet hurt. There were years it was outside, of course, in May and June where it's hot in Los Angeles. Last week it was inside. Thank God it was different, but you're standing all day. You're trying to keep the lookout. Who do you want? It's a lot of work, but it's fun. And I've enjoyed it. And I appreciate it. Again, full disclosure, I've had access to everybody. I've never been restricted. There's no one says, oh, James can't have this person. I've been very fortunate. And I try to get, I mean, I get up to like 40 or 50 interviews per time I go. And then I list them. I put them all together, put them out. And so for me, that's a chunk of revenue for me also because it goes on YouTube. And you don't monetize on YouTube. So just like you get monetized and they're free for you, but when you watch them, I make money off of them. Same with audio, just on Spotify and stuff, all the downloads and spins, it generates money. So they're nice little money bumps also every year for all of us who post and are monetized out there. And if you're not monetized, it's also great because the first couple years I wasn't. It was great just to have the exposure. You get new followers, new subscribers. I mean, it's like people are like, oh, who is this? So I only want they come for the actor or actress. If they like you, they'll stay. Share your channel. And since I cover so many of the soap world and the daytime world, you get a wide variety. And it's fun to see your friends. Some of them they're nominated. It's good to see them. So you get to meet for the first time. So it's wonderful. It's like the Emmys are like the Super Bowl for us. It's the big thing, once a year. When COVID hit, full disclosure, they cut the carpet really small because of COVID protocols. And I remember I inquired. I didn't make it on there, but I didn't get upset. I'll make sure I make that very clear. I didn't get upset. I was like, I kind of understand. And a part of me was a little nervous coming back anyway. Yeah, because I was like, I don't think I had gotten COVID yet at that point. And I was trying not to get it. I got it later anyway. But I was trying not to. But they were so sweet about it. The people who I can't fully remember off the top of my head. I think it is different PR handling it than before. I think I'm not sure, but the system was, they said, sorry, James, we know who you are. We're gonna try to get you in next year for sure, which they did actually. The next year I got in. It was no issue whatsoever. But it was just like I understood at that time that there was COVID protocols, and I wasn't super hurt that I didn't go. Again, I was a little scared still. I was like I was kind of trying to figure this out. But they did get back to me, and the next year I was there because of our relationship with each other. They knew who I was. I knew who they are. They were very good customer service. Now, one of the things, because people always ask us this every single year, like, when do you find out you're going? That's to me the flaw in the plan. And I used to run events. I did it for 20 years. So I used to run events, big events, small events, getaways, whatever. I used to run them. So I know how to run events. I'm also a professional organizer of 15 years. I know how to organize stuff. So when I make these comments, they're coming from my experience and just and all that. I feel like there is a disconnect when it comes to press. Anybody press watching this will probably agree with me. A lot of times we don't find out until like a week out if we're approved or not. Now, they give us plenty of time to, now again, can't count the 50th because that was a rush job. That was something totally different. We'll talk about that in a second too. That's something totally different. It was the timing was off. But for the others, or for this, it's like usually you don't find out until a week or so before if you're going, or 2 weeks. And to me, so they say it's 2 weeks. It's still to me, for the press who don't live in Los Angeles, you're trying to book flights, hotels, it's expensive. Um, you're trying to put these budgets together and you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to hear. Um, I think that's not good. I think we need more time. Even for us in LA. Just I mean, it's like, well, do you go get an outfit and kind of have it ready just in case? You have your people take their time off from, because some folks actually have other jobs. They don't do this full time. Do I have them take off from their job just in case? But then if it doesn't happen, like, I mean, there's a lot. It feels like we should know a little before that. But um, that's just one little pet peeve I know of mine and probably many others who do this. That I mean, they ask us to apply way in advance. So I just feel like wait, just give by a couple of weeks or a week to apply, and then just now the problem has been the last couple of years. I have not gotten the notification to apply. So I don't know if it's a glitch in the system or if they have a flawed system. And I'm not the only person. There's several of us, I get, who have been actually at the Emmys the year before or have been many times, are not getting the notifications. What I'm realizing, because I'm an Emmy judge, it's a different department, it looks like. So I'm on that list for everything, every announcement that has to do with the overall Emmy stuff, for voting, all stuff. I mean, it's very comprehensive. I get everything for that. But from the PR people, it's a separate thing for the Emmys. That's coming directly from the Daytime Emmys from Natus. This is, I think, it's coming from the agency that does this. I think it's a flaw in the system. So the last two, so the 50th, actually, the one before that, I didn't get information. I didn't get a thing. So last, I say 3 years, I didn't get it. I have wonderful colleagues who look out for me, who have forwarded the emails to me. But even some of my colleagues didn't get them last year, this year, and I had to forward to them so they have a chance. So I think it's a flaw, and I used to do email blasts and things. I just feel like it shouldn't be a list like previous attendees and just send out to them the option to apply. I feel like there should be a little better system or something's going on there. Now, and I'll tell you what happened to me last year and this year when it came to that. So last year, I applied. And I always apply right away. As soon as it comes, usually it's really early, I apply right away to get out the way. And I remember last year I was able to apply and also apply for my co-hosts. And of course, I'll let you know who can come or not. This year, there was no section for co-hosts or crew, just it was for yourself. So that was kind of weird. But it looked like a similar sign up sheet online. So last year because it was a rush job. We had the strikes ended. They're doing the 50th. It's really quick. Like, okay, is this happening? Is this happening? But again, never got an email. Thanks to my colleagues who sent me one. I applied. This year, same thing. Thanks to my colleagues, I got one. I applied early on, again, early, and then sent it off. Okay, I'm like kind of got some outfits kind of together. I'm like looking at some outfits. I have an idea what to do with my hair. I want his hair. I talked to a couple of my co-hosts. Okay, one said I'll take the day off just in case, whatever. Like whatever. So we're just kind of like trying to figure that out. Talking to others, of course, and they're getting their crews together, and we're all kind of talking about. Well, we don't know when we'll be. When we'll know. Well, last week because their Emmys are this week, they're Friday. Last week's a Thursday or Friday is when people start, I guess, finding out. So for me, we'll start with last year. So I'm trying to keep. So hopefully you're following. You're following. So we're gonna start with last year. I applied. I got denied, and I was very shocked because I had never been denied before. In terms of not counting that COVID year, but in terms of applying, I always got it. I'm a regular. I'm like, this is kind of weird, and I found out that other people who have around less than I have, who I sent the emails to, they got approved. Like they're doing one show, they got approved. They're newer. I cover everything, and I don't get approved. And so I first I was upset. I was upset trying to gather information from other people who got approved. They're like, you're not approved. Everybody's like excited. They're like, James, are you approved? Are you approved? I'm like, no, I'm not approved. Totally upset. I was pissed. But I had to put my big boy pants on and say, okay, well, let's ask them what's going on because this doesn't sound right. So I sent an email, I think like a day later or so. And I say, hi, maybe you don't know who I am, but I'm JLJ Media. We cover all the soaps. I've been in the Emmys before. I'm an Emmy judge, all this stuff. Because last year, we had to keep in mind they were doing 4 Emmy shows in a row. They're trying to catch up. It was Children and Family, Creative Arts, and Daytime. And I literally voted for, in the Children and Family Emmys and voted. I'm like, I literally, I was like, I want to go and see who won. I want to see what happened. Now, people will say, well, why don't you go as a guest? It costs money to go as a guest, and the money is not in my budget. I don't have. It's a little expensive in my taste. So to go as a guest, but I don't want to go as a guest anyway. I mean, I wouldn't go as a guest for the creative arts or the children and family, but for the daytime, I really want to be there interviewing people. So I get the email that was denied. So then I decided to reply to that email, and I said all that what I said to you. I told you guys, and I was really I tried to be respectful. Like maybe it was a glitch or something. Sent it in. Don't hear anything. But then I hear the day before, right before that, I'm approved. So no explanation, no, I'm sorry or anything. It was just like, you are approved. So I took it as obviously they made a mistake. And glitches happen. I mean, they happen. I don't know, they made a mistake. And they corrected it. They course corrected it. They were like, oops, no, James, you can go. But at this point, I was like, but is my co-host, because I don't want to do it again by myself. I did it by myself once. It's a lot of work to work the camera and to go over it's a lot of work. It's easier when you have at least one other person with you. Then you can switch back and forth. They can keep a look. It's a lot of work. Trust me. Anybody on the red carpet knows exactly what I'm talking about. Especially if you're doing video and audio. I'm not just doing audio. I'm doing video. So it's be framed right. It's get right in there. Just the whole thing. So they course corrected it. I was like, okay. And then, but I asked the question again. I said, is my crew? And I said their names as I applied for them. Are they approved? No response. No response. So I made a decision that night, the night before. I mean, I'm not doing it by myself. I'm doing it by myself. That's a lot of work, and I have nobody's approved with me. I'm not getting any answers if anybody's approved. So I can't even bring in someone else because they're very strict. Because the Emmys, you have to go check in. They check your ID. There's a whole process. It's not like I just bring somebody and say, well, I'm bringing somebody anyway. This is not the old days anymore. You literally have to be invited to the Emmys to be at the red carpet. It's not, you just can't just walk in. So, and I didn't want to say, Tammy, let's go, or Amanda goes had to fly. I was like, Tammy was here, or Frank, let's go. And then they get turned away. They get all dressed up, get there. And I'm like, I'm not doing all that. I don't live near where they have the award show. I'm in Los Angeles. The traffic, I live like 20 miles, 25 miles away. So I was going to do that. So I just said, never mind. And I sat out. But I appreciated the course correct. But I was always kind of curious back in my mind, still, how did I get denied? But I'm thinking it's a one-time thing. Maybe that happens, totally happens. Well, like the next day, the day of or whatever, Tammy sends me a text, goes, I got approved, I guess. Like, I mean, but she was on her way to her regular job that was outside of Los Angeles. Like she thought she was told she wasn't available. And they, we taped earlier for the East Coast broadcast later. So it's not like we tape at night. You just say, okay, we'll see you tonight. You have to be there. You have to be there like in daytime, morning, late morning, early afternoon. It was all screwed up. So I tried to write it kind of off as it is. Oh, this is kind of a quick rush. They're trying to kind of put this together. It's kind of a whole thing. Next year will be normal. So now we're in 2024. I again do not get an email. A colleague sent it to me. I fill it out, send it in. No, we wait. So here's what's so funny. So I get an email about publicists walkthrough like a couple of weeks ago. I was like, okay, I'm not a publicist, but I'm thinking it could be. I couldn't tell if it was from the Emmy Daytime Emmys or the Emmy or the PR people who are running the Emmys. But I thought, oh, maybe it's just a glitch. They sent out to everybody or sent out to me by accident. I mean, I didn't even pay attention. Kind of, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I went about my business because I get lots of emails from the Emmys. So I went about my business. Well, that's gonna figure into I wish, because I didn't know this. I probably should have tried to say something then. I had no idea this was going to happen. This is unprecedented. Um, well, now I get this email last week. I'm approved as a publicist. Like, I'm not a publicist. There must be some mistake. I didn't apply for be a publicist. I applied for press. That's what I've been doing for, I feel like say hundreds of years, but for years. Before I can even begin to respond and say, hi, there's a mix up. A few hours later, because I wasn't home. So I was doing other stuff. And I was like, when I get home, I'll handle it. And if I do that, another person, I won't say names right now. I'm not going to do that because the names aren't important for you guys anyway. Just that someone higher up in the PR part of this um, emails me, not the person who sent out the original one, but emails me separately themselves. And it's like, hi, James, nice to meet you. Um, I'm sorry, but you are actually I think you're actually we're denying actually a publicist thing because we know who you are. You're JLJ Media. You're not a publicist. And so I'm reading that going, oh well, yeah, they caught that. So it must be some kind of glitch. They caught that before I even say anything. I'm like, again, thinking they're course correcting. This is great. Then it says, and I'm sorry, but we're unable to approve you for the daytime for the red carpet this year. Hope to see you next year, bye bye, whatever. I was like, so wait a minute. So I'm not approved, period. There's like several ceremonies this weekend. I'm not approved for none of it. So now I'm hot as fish grease. I am pissed because now I'm seeing it feels like a weird pattern. That's twice in a row I've now been denied. Like I said, yes, they course corrected before, but I never got an answer why. But I was denied the first time, and now I'm being denied a second time. This is feeling weird. So people start, people are finding out they're approved, or like, or not approved. A couple folks were not approved, and I understand why. Actually, I get why they weren't approved compared to others, because they already told it's a space issue. So I don't know how big the space is or whatever. But some folks who do less than I do actually got approved. Not meaning in work, but just that in coverage. Like some of them cover maybe one show only or two shows, or they only cover certain things. Where I'm covering all of daytime, includes talk shows, whatever, neighbors, I'm everybody. And so I started talking to my colleagues. I'm like, what's going on here? And they're like, I got approved. And they're like, I got approved. And they're like, no, I didn't. I didn't. So I noticed a pattern that I would talk to every single person who got approved. But for the couple people I talked to, they're long timers like me, and they got approved. So we're like, well, who else I mean, I feel like the soap world isn't that big, to tell you the truth. Like, that people are screaming down the door for it. You know, and to me, there are the usual suspects because they've been there longer than I have. That's like a Michael Fairman TV, and so our Digest. I figured, of course, they're going to be there, of course. And so our Digest, I don't know if they do. I don't think they do video; they do audio, but I'm not sure. But the whole point is, I figure those are two outlets right there. Then I count a couple others, and I'm thinking, after them, it should be me. And that's not ego talking. It's just thinking in sheer volume and how long I've been in the business and what I cover. Then next, I think would be me in terms of the coverage. You know, so Central, of course, and they've been longer than I have. Buckcast's been longer than I have. So, like, yeah, so they should be there. But then I should be one of the ones too, I'm thinking. Um, and so I'm like, okay, I need to ask some questions. Because and I wrote back and I was like, "Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, there's some glitch. I don't know how did that happen. I didn't apply for a publicist. I'm not a publicist. I said I am press. You know, I'm press. I'm like surprised. I'm like, you know, and they're like, yeah, we don't know how. We're curious how that happened to you. They're curious. I'm like, okay, yeah. So to me, it's telling me this organization happening. So they don't know. But it's like, we'll see you next year. Still, it's kind of like, I'm like, wait a minute, no, I need to know what's going on. But I took a beat because I was pissed. I was upset. So eventually I did send an email basically saying, hi, you know, I've never been denied before like this before, except last year I was denied, but it was corrected. This year I'm being denied. I just want to know why I'm being denied. Because you know, I'm an Emmy judge. I cover all four, so I cover all the soaps basically in the categories. Been doing it for years. Here in Los Angeles. I'm just kind of curious because now I'm afraid to apply next year. And now I'm connecting last year and this year now together. At first, I thought it was a separate incident. Now I'm connecting both of them going, but there's something going on where I keep getting denied initially. So now I want to know because I don't want to keep doing this every year and I keep being denied. Like I mean, and no answer. No one's telling me any answers. So I asked her, I said, any questions, any answers you can give me would be great. Um, as of this recording, I have not gotten a straight answer to why I keep getting denied. Just haven't. A couple of people who are going had to downsize their crews. So again, their total is due to size. But they haven't even told me that. I mean, I haven't gotten any confirmation or anything. It's been days now. I haven't gotten anything. That says, hey, James, here's the deal. You know, I'm still waiting for I'm like some kind of, you know, thing. But meanwhile, I'm not invited. And it really angers me because I don't really know what's going on there. And I'm like, am I not seen as a credible network? Am I not being seen as a credible outlet? Um, you know, what's going on there? I'd like to know. I mean, I just tell me what you think. I like to know. Do you not like my style, or I mean, I don't know. Do you think my numbers are not big? I mean, I just want. I'm curious to what it is because a glitch happens every once in a while, but it can't be glitching every single time just to me. I mean, like that's. I mean, like it's. I'm trying not to take it personally, like personalize it so heavily, but it is personal on some levels. Like, well, and you're not answering me back. You had no problem telling me that I'm denied right away and all this stuff, but you're not answering back with an answer that is concrete. This is why you were denied. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy it's a space issue. It needs to be something more than that because I want to know who's going. I want to know who's there that they feel is more important than me. Like I said, I just named a few people that I think are that have earned their place, just like me, earned their place, and they've been doing it longer than I have, and they're expected to go. But I just kind of want to know, other than that, why am I not regarded the same? And it goes into this business. It's funny, in the soap world, again, I worked from scratch. I came out of nowhere, right? In my late 40s, out of nowhere. And then I got attached with AfterBuzz TV. And out of 400 hosts over there, I made a name for myself. I created shows, did all the kind of stuff there, and really worked my way through the soap world. A lot of my fan base and people who even are casual people who know who I am know that I'm into the soaps. I'm like one of the soap guys. So I just am. And I'm here in Los Angeles. I'm here involved. I do a lot of interviews. I mean, year round, I'm producing interviews and TV shows and recap shows, and I've been involved in some really high profile interviews and high profile. And there are times when I don't get the recognition I feel I deserve. But I've had to learn. I have my fan base, and they're good. As long as they're happy, then I will stick with that. I've never been to Survivor Digest. I've done some big, huge interviews. I've done some big things. Never been featured in there. I've won some industry awards. Never been featured in some of these magazines. But I've been featured in others. I've been in People Magazine. I've been in Forbes. I've been in a few of those. But the soap world is not checking for me. Other best said. But I have some good friends who are colleagues that have been great with me over the years and good time. But I just feel like this. I feel like I'm pushed down, and I see people getting interviews that I should be getting also that I don't seem to get access to either. And that happens. That's just not the Daytime Emmys. That's just in period in the soap world. And I'm just trying to figure out what more do I need to do to be able to get on, so I can get on the level, because I keep doing this, to get some of the respect I feel I deserve. Because I did do old fashioned hard work. Um, I know the soaps, inside and out. I respect the soaps. I respect the soap actors and soap producers and writers. I try to do very good in-depth interviews. I try to do fun interviews. I know my style isn't for everybody, and that's fine. I mean, my style, I'm not here to please everybody, but for a lot of people, my style is fine. And at the Emmys, I always win like best dressed. I come dressed down. My hair is together. My set suit jackets are ready. I'm always come to the Emmys ready, because I respect them. Because like I said, it's like the highest honor you can get. And for me, it's an honor to be on the red carpet and talk to the stars in their magical moments. I'm just highly disappointed in how things are being handled. And I demand answers, of course. I don't know if I'll ever get them or not. But this, I'm just letting you know, as of this recording and as I put this out, JLJ Media, myself, will not be there. Again, not by choice. Will not be there. And, we're still going to do our special, our Daytime Emmys winter special. Stay tuned for the day. I talked to my co-host when we're going to do that. So stay tuned for the date of that. It'll be after the Emmys, of course. So it won't be any inside information from me, but we'll be talking about just at least the winners and how we feel about that and the show. But we're going to do that because the fans love it and we love you. So we're going to do that. But I have to tell you, I'm highly disappointed in how I've been treated the last few years at the Emmys. And I'm trying to keep my head up and say it's not the end of the world. That life will go on. Obviously, life's going to go on, but it sucks because you feel like you do good work. You try to be a good person. You try to be really friendly, and there are things about this part of the TV business that I still feel like I'm still fighting after 10 to 17 years. I'm still fighting it, and I feel like some others are getting bigger opportunities than I am. And I could start saying things like, is it race? Is it my color? Is it because I'm fat? Is it, what is it? Like my deep voice. I can start pulling those things out, but I'm trying not to, um, because I have gotten some great opportunities within this business also, based on my talent. But it makes you feel all kinds of ways, because you know how this industry can work. This industry is not normal. It's not a normal industry. It isn't. We know that. And that's why we're in it, because we're not normal either. So we're crazy also. I get it. But I am deeply sorry for the fans, my Lotties, the fans who like my shows, who love seeing the interviews and you have to go elsewhere to find the interviews if they get them. But I'm saddened because I like bringing stuff to, I like to serve my public, and it just makes me sad that I can't be there on one of the hottest days of the year. I mean, meaning hot, meaning like it's the Emmys. So I think I'll end it here. My last thing will be, I think that this press process needs an overhaul and needs to be seriously looked at. The vetting process needs to be looked at. It needs to be a little more transparent, like what's going on here. And again, I'm ending this show. At least I explained to you my feelings. I'm not happy at all. So that's the deal. I'm James Lott Jr. And I will see you on the interwebs, and I will talk to you next time.